1027 WNEW, New York.
Ron and Fez, 1027 WNEW.
Fezzy, this should be interesting. We've been wanting to talk to somebody about this for a long time. We have James White from willitsell.com.
That's his book, available at Amazon.com. He's a former NASA consultant and now a full-time inventor and inventing marketing consultant.
We have James White on the line. James, how are you, sir?
Just fine, thanks.
Welcome to the Ron and Fez show.
Thank you, glad to be here.
James, you know, most of us think that we could probably invent something. We all get ideas. What are we supposed? But does it take a lot of money to get a product out there?
Well, the answer is yes and no. I mean, there are a lot of things a person can do for fairly little money. In fact, the product I'm working on right now, it took me only about $3,000 to get it into patent pending status and actually get some prototypes produced and on the market for sale.
What is it?
What is it?
Yeah.
You really want to know?
Yeah.
You know the problem ladies have with their necklace clasp, always creeping around to the front where everybody can see it?
Right.
Well, my invention is a little wire spring that holds the pendant in position on the necklace so that the clasp will stay at the back of the neck.
Now, that's something that's kind of simple, and probably women have thought about it before, but probably people never act on it, right?
Correct. Actually, there are several patents on other possible solutions to the same problem, but all of them require that the jewelers totally rethink the way they build their jewelry. And that, of course, just isn't going to happen. So,
James, now, in your book, do you teach us, like, let's suppose I'm walking down the street, I got one of those ideas. What's the first thing that I should do?
I call it step zero, and that's go shopping to see if there are other solutions already on the market.
Step zero, Fez.
Yes.
That's before the first step.
Yes. And you don't have to let the idea out of your head. You don't have to tell anybody what your idea is. All you have to do is go shopping. You know, look in catalogs, search the internet, ask store clerks. I have this problem. What do you have that solves it? And lo and behold, about 90% of the time you'll find that a better solution than yours is already out there.
How long before you come up with the idea before you can probably see it out there on the market?
Well, if you're going to be taking it from the idea all the way through the process to get it to market, it usually takes about 2 to 3 years just to get it to market, and it usually takes from 3 to 5 years to start getting some profits back from it.
Wow.
Huh.
Now, Fez, did you know that it would take that long?
No, I thought you sold it to a company and then you were on your way. You're getting fat checks coming in immediately.
That occasionally happens, but it's extremely rare. Sometimes you can license things before you've actually proven them out, but most of the time you have to prove them out yourself before anybody's going to be interested in licensing.
Well, we told some people if they called in, we would give them the opportunity to ask you a couple of questions, if you don't mind.
Sure.
It's James White, willitsell.com. The book is Will It Sell? And also you can get this on Amazon as well?
Correct, and barnesandnoble.com, or through any full-service bookstore if you want to. And some bookstores do have it on the shelf. So.
Okay. How many inventions have you had, James, that you've invented?
Oh, I don't know, probably half a dozen, but I haven't patented any. This one that I'm working on now is the first one that I've actually filed a patent application
So
on.
you haven't patented any yet?
Correct.
All right, but you're on your way with this one, this necklace clasp thing.
Yeah, see, one of the most impressive things that I learned when I was researching the book, talking to other inventors, is the multimillionaire inventors here locally. One of them with 50 years of experience in inventing and selling, and the other with 35. Neither have any patents at all.
Wow.
Sales are where the money's
That's frustrating. If I was an inventor, I'd feel frustrated.
Well, I feel like I am an inventor then, since I have no patents.
You're almost there.
Yeah. Well, sales are where the money comes from.
Right. That's for sure.
All right, we'll take some calls here. Iris. Iris, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hi, Iris. You're on with James White. He is from the book Will It Sell?
Hello, this is Iris calling.
Hello, Iris. You have a question for James White?
Yes, hello, Mr. White.
Howdy.
Enjoyed Reservoir Dogs very much. I've had an idea for a patent. I wanted to take a thermometer and stick it on a coat. That way, when you're walking down the street, you'll know the temperature. Or you could take your own temperature.
All right, so it's a thermometer that's actually...
It's a thermometer, yes.
Right. Actually attached to a coat.
Or you could think of it as a coat.
A coat that is a thermometer.
And what I wanted to ask, Mr. White, will it sell? Will it sell?
Will it sell? Well, my guess is probably not, but it might. You never can tell. The real catch is there's lots of competition because there are already little thermometer tags that you can hang onto your...
What about this?
Oh, that's step one, isn't it? It's going out and seeing if there's already your invention out there.
That would be step 0.
Yes.
Step 0.
Oh.
What about a thermometer on the pants? And then you just lean backwards and take your own temperature.
Well, now you're getting into just attaching it to different places, I think would classify itself as obvious and not be patentable.
What, a hat?
A thermometer on a hat.
Still you're just attaching it to different places, so I think you're going to get into the realm of obvious. The only way to find out for sure, though, is to write up your patent application and file it and see what happens.
What if I just take it and tape it to a pair of socks and then say that I had it years ago and sue the people who also stolen that idea?
Mr. White, you can't try to forge or, say that you invented something before someone else did if you didn't, right? Is that wrong?
You can try, but it's likely not to get you anywhere except into a big fight in court, which you'll most likely lose. And just having an idea first is not enough. You've got to not only have the idea.
You've got to do something different.
You've got to diligently pursue it.
One more thing, Mr. White. I live in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn.
Okay.
And the neighborhood has gone pretty Arab.
All right. Does this have something to do with an invention?
No, just an observation. Really.
Okay. And you're wondering
why?
Your property, will it sell?
Well, that's another issue.
Right, it really is. At this point, will it sell? Well, I thank you.
You're welcome.
And I'm going to get on step 0 as soon as I can.
All right, well, thank you for the call, Iris.
All right, and it's willitsell.com?
Will It Sell is the name of the book, too, yeah.
But I don't have a computer.
Oh.
The local library probably has one that they'll let you use.
Where's that from here? All right, I'm going to hang up.
Iris, we don't know where your closest library is.
Probably the Brooklyn Library.
Yeah, okay.
But it's full of Arabs. Thank you for calling.
You called us, Iris. So, I guess a lot of people probably have ideas, James White, that are already out there and they don't even realize it.
In fact, it's quite embarrassing sometimes. I know one inventor, in fact, on another radio show, the inventor's was actually had come up with an invention on a Friday, and he'd spend all day Saturday in the garage making a prototype, and then on Sunday he and his wife happened to be in a drugstore and saw it sitting on the shelf for $2.
What idiots. All right, Will It Sell, and it's also willitsell.com. We've got Mr. James White on. We've got Cindy on the line. Cindy, you're on Ron and Fez with James White. I'm sorry, we have Jan. Jan is on the line.
Hello.
Yes.
This is Jan B. calling.
Jan B.
Yeah, and I was calling to talk to James White, inventor.
Yes.
I had some ideas, James White, about some things, and I was wondering, will they sell?
Of course.
One thing I was wondering about is, it's an invention that my father came up with, but he never did anything with. It's an egg on a parking cone. That way, when your brother and sister are having driving competitions, then you could put an egg on the cone and see who gets there first. And if they knock the egg off the cone, then you'd know who won the competition. Would that sell?
Is there a market for that? I can't see a market for it.
Well, this way you'll know, I guess for a driving type thing, like if you're parallel parking or...
For driving competitions inside your family. If you have a brother and a sister doing a driving contest against each other, it's a surefire way of showing who won.
Here's my problem with that. It's really just a cone with an egg on the top. Couldn't anybody make that, Mr. White?
Absolutely. And in
Yeah.
fact, actually, if you did get the patent on that, you could technically enforce it. But what would the damages be when you went to, you'd
Right.
wind up spending much more in court.
So that's a kind of a dumb idea.
I would call it egg cone. And try to patent the name first.
Well, you couldn't patent the name. You could maybe
Right.
trademark the name.
Right, you trademarked the name. Egg
Step
cone.
0, I forgot. I had another idea. For neat natural hair tonic. It turns your hair orange right away. I mean, instantly.
What about that? I mean,
Do you actually have the method of doing that?
or just an idea?
Usually it happens right before your brother's graduation. And then it's really embarrassing for him.
All right, Jen.
It's kind of a gag invention.
Yeah, actually, see, one catch there is you actually have to have an invention. You can't just patent an idea or a suggestion.
Right.
You actually have to have an invention that actually can do something.
What about a sock rope? I remember one time, me and my
we've got
family were vacationing in Grand Canyon.
Jen,
and
we
we
have
went
to
to
go.
a ghost town, and we got locked into jail.
All right, Jan, you've had 2 chances. I got a lot of calls here, okay?
My father made a rope out of socks and got the keys.
Well,
And we
anybody,
were saved.
anybody could do that. Again, how are you going to patent that, right, James?
Correct.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, will it sell?
Well, take this. There's a guy
Bye,
in
Jen.
1977 patented a method of concealing partial baldness. Okay?
Yeah.
What's his
With
method?
socks?
Nope. You let your hair grow 3 or 4 inches long, then you comb it over from the left side, then you comb it up from the back, and then you comb it over from the right side. Now, how is he going to enforce that?
I don't know.
Our butcher, Sam, had the same look.
All right, we got to go, Jen.
Bye-bye. Thank you for your help tonight, Mr. James White.
You're welcome.
All right, James White is here. Will It Sell is the name of the book, and you could, of course, go to willitsell.com, also barnesandnoble.com or amazon.com. Very interesting here, though. So far, nobody's really come up with that good of an idea that you think they should really go on with it, right?
Yeah, I know. I'm waiting for someone to wow us with something.
Well, Opie and Anthony invented that well, too.
All right, yeah.
I called Jen Cindy. Wasn't that stupid?
That was odd.
That's it.
She didn't know who to go to.
All right, James, can we take some more calls?
James?
Yes,
Yeah, can we take some more calls, sir?
certainly.
All right, Joe. Joe, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hello.
Hello, Joe. You're on with James White. His book is Will It Sell?
Joe, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Bayonne. Am I on the radio?
Yes, you are, Joe.
Oh, hi.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hey, how you doing, Mr. White?
I'm doing just fine.
I wanted to tell you an invention I came up with.
Okay.
I invented the cure for the common cold.
Aha.
Now, is that something you could patent, Mr. White? If there's
Oh, absolutely.
isn't that more of a medical situation?
Wouldn't you have to go through the FDA?
You would probably have to go through the FDA, and yes, there are lots of rules and regulations on that, but yes, you could certainly patent it. Drugs are patented all the time.
Because I work in a pharmacy, and sometimes when the guy leaves, I experiment.
Okay. What have you been doing? I mean, is it anything you could talk about, or?
Well, there's a catch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The cure is derived from human feces.
Ah.
All right, so to me, that sounds like it's going to have trouble getting approval.
Yeah, nobody does this.
Well, you run it through a soup mixer, and when it comes out, there's just little particles left, and I put them in capsules. And when I take them an hour later, I feel much better.
Poop pills.
I don't know.
I'm not sure that that'll pass, but...
It will pass eventually, I believe.
Yeah, I hope. It'll pass
Yeah.
twice, actually.
Yeah. All right. Can we take one more call, Mr. White?
Sure.
Thank you, Joe.
I eat my own poo.
All right.
Yes, and take it in pill form.
Right, we heard. Jeez. It's James White is on with us. Will It Sell is the name of the book, and of course, willitsell.com. You can check all this stuff out. We'll take one more call here. Hello, Andre. Andre, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hello?
Yes.
This is Andre Eugene.
All right, Andre, say hi to James White. It's Will It Sell is the name of the book, willitsell.com.
Hello, Mr. White.
Hi, Andre.
All right, here is my idea.
Right.
My situation is I'm a large man.
You're a big man?
I'm very large. I'm 7'4",
Uh-huh.
560 pounds. I'm from Grenoble, France.
Now, let me ask you this, Mr. White. Can people from other countries, can their patent work in the United States, or they got to go to their home country?
Typically, they have to file in their own country first, and then their country will give them a license to file anywhere else, and then they can file in the U.S.
Do you have citizenship here, Andre, or?
Yes, I have dual citizenship.
Oh, dual citizenship, so I guess it would be okay then, right?
Right.
Well, it doesn't matter. You can file in the U.S. from any country as any citizen. There's no restriction on citizenship.
But here's a guy, I mean, at his size, 6'11".
No.
What?
7'4".
Right.
560 pounds.
Yeah.
From Grenoble, France. And
okay.
My suggestion, more of a suggestion than an idea, is to just invent some larger things.
Larger things?
Mm-hmm. Bigger couches.
Right.
Bigger taxi cabs.
Right.
Just bigger things, bigger plates, bigger bowls.
All right, let's go to Mr. White on this. Mr. White, I mean, can you get a patent just by taking something that's already out there, making it for larger people?
In fact, no. It's just changing the material and changing the size almost never can be granted a patent. It has to, changing those two things have to cause some unexpected, dramatic, new functionality.
I see.
Fine, I'll just sit here on my little chair like an idiot.
Build a bigger one.
Yeah, we're not telling you.
Make a wood shop.
Yeah, we're not telling you that you can't have a bigger chair.
It sounds like that's what you're telling me. It's impossible.
What about this? What if you just use a couch as your chair?
Oh.
Or a giant table as a TV tray?
I'm going to patent that idea before you do, my friend. So that is a good idea.
Right. Well, I would like to have something for somebody 7 foot tall.
Bigger? 7'4".
Right.
560 pounds. From Grenoble, France.
Go ahead, Mr. White.
Yes, Mr. White.
Yeah, again, ideas and suggestions can't be patented.
Right.
And just changes in sizes can't. You've got to go further
You've taken a normal chair and you've just made it huge.
Yes, I need it. Big people need these things. I'm practically a giant. I did have one idea for an invention.
Yeah.
A snake catcher.
Snake catcher. How would that work?
I have a fear of snakes.
Uh-huh.
And I would just want some sort of snake catcher that I can put around my bed at night. Not a very big bed. I can only get the regular size.
Yeah.
But just something that's going to catch a snake at night.
Well, how would he go about that? A snake catcher? That's something you probably could do, right, Mr. White?
He's going to have to devise whatever his snake catcher actually is.
I think we've all been looking for a better snake trap.
So once you've devised what your device actually is,
right,
then you can take that to the patent office.
Now, what if this thing already has some mistakes in it?
What? It has what in it?
Mistakes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I am so deathly afraid of snakes. I thought you said mistakes.
No.
I thought you said snake.
If it has mistakes in it, Mr. White, can you still get it patented?
Well, the answer is yes, you can. You can patent something that doesn't actually work, but if it turns out that it doesn't actually work, your patent may turn out to be invalid.
Right now, all I have is a tube sock that I lay around the bed. Tube socks, and I hope in case a snake comes in, because I am so afraid, that they will actually crawl into the tube sock. And then I can pick them up and try to get rid of them.
Well, have any actually crawled into the bed with you yet?
No. Are you out of your mind?
The socks are working.
I would have a big heart attack.
Right. All right, Andre.
Thank you, Mr. White.
And we'll snake you later.
What?
I said we'll call you later.
Oh,
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
The name of the book is Will It Sell. WillItSell.com is one of the spots that you can check it out online. And, I'm kind of curious about this, Mr. White. What do you do if somebody starts to sue you by saying that they had the patent first?
Well, they wouldn't be able to say they had the patent first because the patents are going to have been checked before you got yours. So what's more likely to happen is that your patent application will cause an interference to occur while it's being processed.
Yeah, do they check something like that at the patent office? Do they go, wait a minute, these things are cross-referenced in here?
Oh, absolutely. And in fact, they do a very thorough patent search at the patent office before your patent has a chance of issuing. Although things may still get through, and then, in which case, it's probably going to have to be settled in court if somebody doesn't back down.
All right, Mr. White, we'll take another call. It's George. George, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hello, George. You're on with James White.
Hello, Ron and Fez, Mr. White. This is George Roger Carver. How are you, sir?
Doing all right.
I've been working on peanuts. Peanut shells, peanut hats, any type of peanut products at all.
Mm-hmm.
All right, can you take a natural resource like that?
Just not a natural, at this time, just peanuts.
Just peanuts.
It's my favorite nut, and I've worked on different things. I take the shells, work on some. I take peanut skins. I made boots out of peanut skins. I made a little hat out of peanut shells. Peanut butter, peanut brittle.
Okay.
Any type of peanut byproduct.
Yeah, James White, what about that? If you're making something out of something natural, can you patent that?
Well, you can't actually patent something that's natural, but
there's a lot of work I'm talking about at this junction time.
You can patent the use of something.
Right.
But again, you run into the issue of, can you enforce it? And, if you can't enforce it, then it's hardly worth getting the patent.
Well, I came up with an idea. I hate to even talk about it, but it's to take a jacket and make a peanut thermometer and attach it to said jacket.
Now, is it a thermometer that looks like a peanut, or it's an actual peanut that gets warmer and colder?
That I do not want to say. I also have a clock where I took out all the numbers and just put a peanut in. And then it just says, it's peanut time.
All right, Mr. White, to me that sounds like he's just doing crafts, not inventions.
That would seem reasonable, yes. You've got to go to the invention stage and get a little farther than that.
How surprising that someone named Mr. White is trying to keep me down. How shocking. It's been happening a long time.
Well, you are on with James White.
James Earl White.
James Edward White.
Edward White.
That's what the E stands for.
Excuse me.
Like the astronaut.
This is all I'm saying. Many things can be made with a peanut.
Oh, yeah.
White.
And you can actually, you can patent processes.
You can't, here's what you don't understand. You can't patent the heart. Because the heart keeps beating and beating like a peanut in your chest. A thump.
That's true. You can't patent desire, can you, Mr. White?
No.
You can't patent desire or the sweat and perspiration that somebody put in a peanut or a peanut byproduct. I'd like to take a month and dedicate it to the month of February. It would be peanut month.
Now, Mr. White...
March would be post-peanut month. And that's so on, so forth.
There's so many, let's say, peanut butters out there. If you came up with a new peanut butter, would you be able...
I call it peanut better.
Oh.
Because it's better than the rest.
Now, if it's a different process, that you can patent, right?
Yeah, you can patent a process, but the catch is the result. If somebody else can come up with another process that gets the same result,
right.
They don't infringe your patent by using their process to get your result. You follow that?
So if you came up with a different way to make peanut butter, there's already ways to do that.
Jelly?
Correct.
Are you saying jelly is peanut butter or to spread the jelly first? Like jelly roll?
You can do either way.
There's that combination. You get it in one jar of jelly and peanut butter.
I did have an idea for a peanut butter cup.
Yeah? You mean, like the Reese's peanut butter cup?
No, my friend. This would be a cup made out of peanut shells with a handle glued on the outside. So you just have a little cup of coffee in a peanut shell and you're saying, excuse me, would you like a peanut cup? Or also I came up with something I call a peanut margarita.
Huh.
That has potential. I'm not so sure about the cup. Cups are, old hat.
No, this is a peanut shell, dude.
It's a peanut shell with a handle
on it. Not a peanut hat.
All right. So it seems to me like you're just making something smaller. I think we dealt with this with an earlier caller.
Yes. I'm also, at the time being, I'm wearing peanut underwear.
Well, good for you.
I have to admit, it's not very comfortable.
No, I guess not. They seem like they would be scratchy.
Yeah, they're scratchy, but it's tasty. And it gets you to the point where people can take off their underwear and enjoy a peanut snack. I thank you for the time, Mr. White.
What do I think of that?
Yes.
Yeah, will it sell?
Will it sell? No.
And one other thing, have you ever slept with a black woman?
Nope.
And why? I'm going to hang up so I can listen to the response.
Thank you, George.
George Washington Cobb.
Thank you, George, for the call.
And one more thing.
Yes, George.
The heart keeps a beating.
Yeah, it does. That's true.
Like a peanut. I got a heart like a wheel, baby. A heart like a wheel.
Well, don't give up on your dreams then, George.
Like a Steelers wheel. Stuck in the middle with you, Mr. White. I thank you all. Enjoy your night.
All right, you too.
This is George Washington Cobb. I'm out of 500.
Thank you, George. Appreciate it. Now, Mr. White, do you find that most people who think they have an idea just really haven't thought it through that much?
As a general rule, yes. And I can tell you the story of the first inventor I came across when I started going to inventors.
I'd love to hear it, Mr. White, but we have to go to break. I thank you for being on the show tonight.
All right.
All right, there he goes.
It's
James White.
Will It Sell? At willitsell.com or amazon.com.
Next book should be maybe called Why Won't It Sell? Because I don't think we sold one thing tonight, Mr. White.
Okay.
All right, thank you, my friend.
Take care.
Bye.
877-692-1027.
With the Ron and Fez Show.
Ron and Fez, 1027 WMEW.